The sun is dawning upon a new day, a great day to design. And today I'm going to get you involved with the dimension tool, as well as a little more practice with the extrude tool by making a light switch cover. Now, if I were home and I had access to a 3D printer, I could measure out a real cover, I could design it here, and then 3D print it. So, there's some application to this. To get started, we're going to make a new part. So I click File, hover over New, click Part. And I went to my wall panel, I measured this out. Actually, I looked it up online. That's okay. You will have access to a better drawn version of these dimensions on Google Classroom. If you can do this without my video guide tutorial, you're going to have a better understanding of the software. So I highly recommend to you, if you think you could make this on your own, do it. And if you need help, you get me. So let's get started. We're going to create a sketch. Now this faceplate is going to be standing up. I want the front of it to be on my XY plane. So I click it. Now, unlike just drawing pictures, we're going to add dimensions now. So the rectangle tool, I'm going to start off at origin. I click once. I'm going to move my mouse, and now the width of this is going to be 3 inches. Press Tab, and just so you can see, once you press Tab, now I'm adjusting that height, 4.5 inches tall. Okay, that is the outline of this light switch faceplate panel thing. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. First way is going to be the lengthier one. The second way is going to be faster. And I lied. I'm going to do this right now. Do it for real. We need the space for the light switch to actually come through. So looking at my diagram, it's going to be, let's see, 0.4 inches wide and 1 inch tall. Now this new tool that I want to introduce you to is called the dimension tool. And with this tool, you can align things where you want them to go. So there's a conversation that you have with the computer when you use this tool. First thing is I click Dimension, and the computer says, oh, okay, you want measurements. Where do you want measurements? And I say, okay, I want to figure out how wide I should line up this gap. So I'm going to click the left side. And since the computer's thinking measurements, it goes, oh, that thing's 1 inch. But you know that you're not done. The second thing I need to do is click the wall. So now I'm telling the computer I want measurements between this first line I touched and the second line I touched. Now the computer is saying, oh, okay, I get this. It's currently 1.309 inches. Now I'm going to move this out of the way and click it. That's going to drop it. Now, I'm going to tell it the dimension I want. I had a pretty good guess, but 1.3. Now I'm going to do that for the height. So once again, I want dimensions. I want from the top to the top of my gap. The computer tells me that distance. I drop it by clicking. And now I say 1.75 inches. And we're done. Now that we've sketched out a good amount of stuff, let's do an extrusion. I finish my sketch, and now I'm going to extrude. But here, it doesn't do it automatically, because I have to click the shape that I want to extrude. I'm going to click this. And when I do that, there's some options here. You go out this way, you can go in the other way, you could go both ways, or you could offset it. But the second thing that you're going to have to care about is the distance. The distance we have going on is 1/4 of an inch. So I type in 0.25, say OK. We're making progress. Next thing I'm going to do is start a sketch on the face. Because if I go to put this on the wall, I got no holes to put the screws in. So now I got to do that. So I'm going to use my circle tool. Be careful. When you go to use your circle tool, hover your mouse over it, and make sure that it's doing the action you want. So here I've got circle, but it says it's going to make it with a center point and radius. So I have to make sure that I need the radius and not the diameter. Now for this, let's see, we're going to use a radius of 0.125. That looks good, nice and small. And then we're going to do another one, 0.125. I'm just placing these. Now we're going to dimension them. Now I need this circle to be centered, so half of 3, 1.5. I need this one to be centered too. So I click, I drop the dimension. Okay. And next thing is the height. Each of these holes is going to be 1 inch from the top. I'm getting pretty good at guessing here. Let's see this one. A little worse. Okay. Now I'm ready to finish my sketch and extrude these holes in. Uh-oh. I'm clicking both of them, but they're going out. I have to go in. Now, if it doesn't remove material, you need to go to the options and find the one that says cut. It looks like this, because that's going to allow it to cut the material. I'm nearly there. So, part of this software is learning all these new tricks in order to do cool things that you want to do. So I'm going to show you a few right now that are just handy to put in your pocket. One is fillet. Fillet is going to round that edge off. We want this to look beautiful. So I'm going to round it at a radius of 0.125, and I'm going to just select these outer edges. Good. If I click the wrong one, I can hold Control and click the edge again, and it undoes it. Now I'm going to click where the light switch itself fits through. Now that I've clicked everything I want, I say OK. It's looking good. Now we're going to do a similar thing that's a little different. It's called chamfer. So up here at the top of the screen, you should see the word chamfer. That's going to cut the edge at a 45-degree angle. And we're going to do another 0.125 inches, but over the light switch holes. Say OK. And now it's going to hide the head of the screw. Pretty good. Now if I'm 3D printing, all of this material is wasted space. I'm not going to get a benefit from having a solid plate, so in order to save material, we can hollow this out. You're going to love this. I'm going to click the shell tool. And now I'm going to make sure I click the back. And here I'm saying a thickness, let's do 0.125. When I say OK, oh, it's hollowed out my shape so I can save material. And there you have it. Our light switch is finished. Please upload to Google Classroom and have a wonderful day.